All right, we got our big walnut stump here, and step one is going to be cleaning it up and getting it trimmed up to where we can actually get it on the sawmill. So, I know a lot of people have posted about this, and they have videos about their big massive walnut slabs that they cut out and yada yada yada. Don't really care, not really our thing. We're going to take and just trim it. Trim the roots off enough that we can fit it on the mill. And again, my mill can only cut 28.5 absolute max width. But we're going to get it to where we can basically slab it at 28, 28.5, whatever. And then we're just going to do it all as 8/4 and, just sell it for little coffee tables, end tables, because it should all be burley wood. But in trimming it, I believe, of course, we're going to have to shave all down these sides to get all these flares off, and there may be some really good character in the flares themselves too. So we're really trying not to waste anything about this log. You can see right here in the stump it did have a little rot spot, and you can see a little rot here on this side, but I am hoping that's not too pervasive. We're not going to know until we get it cleaned up a little bit and get it on the mill. But like I said, step one is I got the pressure washer sitting here, and I'm just going to start washing this thing down as much as I can, just trying to take mud and dirt off of it, get some weight off of it, get these flares cleaned up that I can run a chainsaw through them without instantly dulling my chain on the sandy soil. And so yeah, we're going to be working on this today here and there as we can and getting it cleaned up, and see, hopefully by the end of the day today I've got it all cleaned up and ready to go on the mill. Maybe on the mill, but I think that's wishful thinking. So for now, let's just get it cleaned up. All right, well, been washing on the stumps. It's a good thing it was a brown sweater and brown pants to begin with. But now I got brown glasses too. They were black, and a brown hat. Anyway, they're behind me. That's all I want to say right now. My clothes are all wet, soggy, muddy. But walnut and sweet gum. So again, the sweet gum is kind of a funny little project. There's a brick growed into the fork. So I'm just going to see if I can even do anything with it. Look, even my lips are muddy. But the big one is the sweet gum, or is the walnut. That's the important one. So I was trying to wash for now. I know there's going to be a whole bunch more dirt up underneath once I flip it up. But I was trying to wash on the sides for right now, just to start cutting some of those flares off. And then I just don't want to, be cutting through the flare and then hit a big wad of dirt underneath of it, basically. So I think I've got it pretty well washed up to the point that I can at least take a few of the flares off, and then we'll see about rolling it over and moving it around to cut the rest of them off. But for now, it's time for some dry clothes and some lunch. All right, so we've just started cutting on the stump here, and I shaved off the first root, which made it curved on me right there at the bottom. I hope that's not the chain. I just sharpened the chain. But, cutting through the stump, there's no telling how much dirt and sand we're going to hit. So it wouldn't be surprised if I have to sharpen the chain a lot. But there's a good cross section for you. Even in the roots, there's beautiful walnut wood. So we're going to keep working and see. Like I said, it's just kind of a hack job. I hate to say that, but that's the truth, because this stump up at the top is right at, well, here I got tape. Oh, let's see what it is across the narrowest dimension. Smallest dimension is 20, 27, 28. I think it's longer here. Oh, that's 25. So I guess there's your narrowest dimension right there at 25. 24 to 25. So that's the way that it'll have to be stood upright on the saw. It can be a little longer, this way, that's fine, because the blade will clear it. So anyway, I've pretty much got to go straight down the side. I don't have a whole lot of room, because I want to keep it as big as possible. So I don't have a whole lot of room to take off anything accidental, if that makes any sense. But at this point, I've just got to get it down to size anyway, so that I can do something with it. So just took this one off the side here, obviously. Now I'm going to try to go for this one here, I think. So it curves in pretty good back there in the back. So we're going to start up here at the top and try to go straight down as much as we can. Let's see if we can't set the camera up and get some footage of this one. that got it. Pretty darn close. I'm gonna go see if I can grab a pry bar and pop it out of there. All right, here's what I had handy. Shovel. Yep. Look at that. Didn't quite want to fall away from there. I think the stump is actually leaning on it just a little bit. Oh man, I was so close to being cut through. Oh, I made that little plunge cut to try to help break it, but I don't really think it was necessary. I think you guys can see that. That little piece right there is wanting to break out already. I think it's broke. I just can't seem to pry it out of there. Oh, there's a root underneath that's holding it. That's what's going on. There, it's broke. Perfect. So this is fun. It's broke loose. There's a couple of roots tangled up underneath that are holding it. And I think it's actually embedded a little bit in the ground too. It's not wanting to move. I think there's one root I can see in there that I think's holding. Let's see if that got it loose. It's loose, but this mess in here is stuck in the mud, I think. And that's a heavy piece of wood I'm trying to turn over. Let's not forget that. That is a heavy chunk of wood. You'd think, oh, it's it's a root flare, you just cut it off. It should be light, but that's a big piece. Well, can't leverage up on that. I just want to flip it over and get it out of the way so I can work a little easier. I guess I could go get the tractor, but it just seems like overkill. Seems like I ought to be able to wrestle this. I'll sit here and wear myself out just trying to wrestle a piece around. Could have gone and got the tractor and chain and been done with it already. Oh, that piece is sitting right there now. That's not helping matters any. I don't care how it goes. Flip, roll, I don't care. There we go. Okay, I lied. I do want it to go a certain way. I want to move over here. Away from where I'm working. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See? I'm even going to take these. I'm going to trim this up and I'll cut little slabs off of that. Perfect. Look at that. It's a heart shape. Don't you just love walnut? Okay, next, this big guy. Oh yeah. See, that one fell right away like it should. It just tipped off the side. I didn't have to pry and wrestle it. I'll grab it and flip it over here. But maybe. I say that and then I can't move it. I thought about knocking it over one-handed, but I'll have to lay on it. But yeah, coming along nice. All right, we just made the last cut, I think. Let's see if we can't split them apart. It seems like it's moving, but I want to take that down. Yeah. Take this big one over. This was surprisingly clean. Actually, I did a pretty good job. Let me pat myself on the back for that one. I did a pretty good job of washing under it. And this walnut stump it helped because it's really, really solid. Like there's not a lot of, well, I'll just show you a difference here. All the roots that are under it, or it's mostly just those big flares. There's very little fibrous root. So everything that you see under it was all big solid chunk like this. When you look up under there, you don't see much of anything as far as little fiber roots like these, you know. They all must have been further out in the network. Because you can see I washed up under there. You can see just a little bit of muddy spots, but it's mostly really, really clean. Now in comparison, you look at the sweet gum stump. This is what I was saying. The sweet gum stump is just riddled with little fibrous roots all up under here. And I spent more time washing on the sweet gum stump for sure than I did on the walnut stump. The walnut cleaned up really, really well, so that's nice. That's a big win. Hey, it's a walnut stump and it was easier to wash, more valuable and easier. Whoa, goodness gracious. Okay, so the rest of the little root bits here, just kind of roll this thing around a little bit and trim off what I can, and then it's going to be mill ready. And I cannot wait. It sucks because I got to go cut stickers first. I don't want to even start sawing on this stuff until I've got my stickers cut and ready. So I'm going to be out there grinding through making sticker wood just so I can get to the big one. But sometimes that's what you got to do. Got to do.